You probably already know that tampering with stuff like the Ouija board is seen as a big no-no by some in the paranormal community, but clearly that memo didn't get across to everyone. Jai didn't believe in the power of the paranormal until they started getting their own back. I mean, asking for demons to possess you as he did is one thing, but doing it during a Ouija board session that he performed inside a well-known haunted building when doing a paranormal investigation at stupid o'clock? Great idea, dude. Take a look at what started happening in his house on one lonely night.
Ever since then, every time I'm here by myself, I hear outside. So I'm playing Rocket League. It's fucking... Oh, did you hear that? Oh, what the fuck? No fucking way. No fucking way. Hello? Is anybody here? Holy shit, they're fucking moving. Hello? Is anybody here? Oh my god, man. What the fuck? No fucking shit. Hello? I heard you. No. No way. No way. Oh my god. Hello? And I swear I just saw it moving here. So this switch. Oh man, I'm absolutely shitting myself. No. That can't be. Fuck off. Holy shit. Nah, f this, I'm... Oh no. Nah, f this, I'm out of here. Goodbye.
From the horrendous hissing noise, to the swinging chandelier, to the disturbing dinner setup, something about it all doesn't sit right with us. Especially if you watch any of his previous videos, which show him doing stuff like this.
If you can move that for us, that will prove to us that you're here. Look. Did you see that? I just asked. Can you move it again one more time? Use all your strength. If you need some energy, you can... Oh my god. That's pretty fucked up.
As great as the content he captures during these paranormal investigations is, could it be why something is tormenting him inside his own home now? Did something latch onto him after one of his spooky paranormal investigations?
That can't be.
Or is he pulling the wool over our eyes? What do you think? Let us know.
Oh, did you hear that? Oh.
Number 9. Restless Nights. A huge thanks to Sandra Nicholas for sending us these creepy videos she took inside her own home. In her email, she asks us to see if we can come up with any explanations for the paranormal milling around her front room. So get ready to type in the comments your theories. Starting off with the first video she sent us. Just based on the video, we can't really see what it was that fell over, but in her email, she tells us that it was a sturdy sealed roll of sellotape. She said that there were no windows open at the time and the roll had been sat exactly there for 3 days with no issue. So what the hell happened? Unfortunately for Sandra though, the sellotape roll wasn't the only thing that went tumbling to the floor, because a few nights before this happened. And somehow, that's not all. Look at the footage he caught just before the modem fell off the windowsill. If you missed it, don't worry, it's a little hard to see. So let's zoom in and get a closer look. Some strange orb flew across from the chairs to the modem and just vanished into thin air. From a purely skeptical standpoint, the items toppling over could be something as simple as the vibrations from cars driving past, or even heavy footsteps that can disturb an item's placement and over time lead it to fall over. That is an incredibly boring explanation, but one thing we can never truly explain is the coincidence of that particular orb. There are all the arguments about it being dust, or bugs, or even light reflection, but there is something so eerie about how it goes straight to the modem, and then in the same night, it's sent flying. What do you think is happening in the front room? Can we as a community help Sandra understand what could potentially be happening in her house? Let us know your theories in the comments, and another shout out to Sandra for sending this over. Found a creepy video you'd like us to feature? Send us the link on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GoosePimplesYT. Also, if you enjoy scary videos like this, subscribe and click the bell icon to get a notification every time we upload a new one. Number 8. Supermarket Ghost. Supermarkets are normally seen as quite dull places that you visit mindlessly to top up the groceries. But in this IGA store in Brompton, Australia, something is lurking in there that makes the weekly shop much more interesting. According to the owner, when he first bought the store, the previous owner told him it was haunted. He paid it no mind until the CCTV caught something inexplicable happening in the pasta aisle. At first glance, this doesn't look like much. Something fell over, that's normal, right? But with a bit of context, it gets spookier. According to the owner, the closing shift before this footage went along normally. The store was spotless and the staff all went home. The box in the footage was a box of confectionery that was stored in the aisle across from the pasta aisle that it fell out in, meaning the box didn't just fall out. Someone, or something, must have thrown it through to the other side of the shelf. What happened? We don't see any camera footage from the aisle with the box in, so there could have been someone hiding there and throwing the box. But who would stay long after their shift in an empty store just to do that? Surely if that were the case, they would have at least faked something a bit more explosive, wouldn't they? So, is it a supernatural supermarket sweep? Or a disgruntled night shift worker? Number 7. Intergalactic. If you've watched us for any amount of time, you'll know that we are no strangers to the odd alien or UFO commentary. But after watching a handful of our extraterrestrial pics, Adrian from Rise Attire couldn't keep watching without showing us some of what he believes to be the most compelling UFO footage he has ever seen. Take a look. This is petrifying, but we can already hear people typing their comments claiming it's edited. So, lucky for you, Adrian gave us some fantastic context for the clip. It was shot at a place called Aketi Ranch. and a plethora of people witnessed this spacecraft-esque object. You can hear them all talking about it in real time in the video.
I put them away, but I got these on film. This thing on film, whatever.
Apparently, it wasn't the first time this phenomenon has been seen nearby, because Eketi Ranch is known for its remarkable amount of UFO activity. According to Adrian, who claims to have visited this location himself, when you're there you see all sorts, from lights atop the mountain or blinking lights hovering through the sky. It's even been known for Sasquatch sightings and of course, the huge mothership we saw in the clip. And the real kicker is that the person who recorded it is a man called James Gilliand, the ranch owner. Adrian says he is an honest and incredible soul who is an old hippie with nothing to prove. So why would he fake this video? This all leads to this being a real video, except for one thing, which is slightly sus. If you type Gillian's name into Google, his IMDb page will show up, showing that he has made or at least been involved with multiple documentaries regarding UFO sightings, which could all be completely innocent, and he's just a man passionate about spreading awareness and information about his ranch. But what if it's all a marketing technique? What do you think? Are we reading too much into it? Let us know down below, and thanks again to Adrian from Rise Attire for sending this video across to us. Number 6. Demonic Dreams. When Joseph Chancellor moved into his apartment, he thought it would be his dream. Freedom, peace and quiet. That was until he started noticing strange things happening around his new home, to the point that he just had to set up a camera overnight to check he wasn't going crazy. And the scariest thing, he wasn't.
What the was that? The hell? Hold on, guys. The hell was that?
He sounds completely spooked and apparently heads over to a friend's house for the night to cool off. There are many ways to fake activity like this, but he shows us every room that is down that corridor and there's nowhere for anyone to hide. So what happened? It's a bit suspicious that the activity happens almost immediately after he heads off though, but we haven't seen enough yet to make any rash judgments. After popular demand, Joseph made another video where he says he believes the entity in his apartment to be a demon rather than your run-of-the-mill poltergeist. And after watching this video, that presumption makes a lot of sense. While these events could hypothetically be the work of an invisible demonic entity, who are we to say Joseph didn't just run behind the camera and do all of this himself? With the help of a bit of wire and some fancy footwork, anything is possible. And the same question arises: why does the activity happen as soon as he walks away pretty much? It might be nothing, but it seems a bit too jammy. He seemed to challenge this belief in his next video, where he filmed himself sleeping while the activity danced around him.
The hell? Doesn't look like anything's in here, guys.
This is a much harder video to explain. He's quite clearly tucked up in bed the entire time this is happening, and why would he deliberately wake himself up a few hours into his rest just to make a paranormal video? It doesn't make sense. Taps can turn on by themselves for all manner of reasons, but that was a twist handle, meaning something must have twisted it into the on position. But who or what? The last video we will show you is perhaps the most suspicious of them all, and you'll see why after a watch. This video is so dark it's almost impossible to see anything. If you missed it, the cupboard door swings open and a lot of his stuff goes toppling to the floor off of the side. This is all very ubiquitous paranormal content, but something just feels off. What would his motivation be for these videos? He said in one of them that he only makes videos for people who believe, which might be more than just locking himself into an echo chamber. Why go to such lengths to fake paranormal content? The mundane horror seems to be exactly the type of thing a ghost demon might do instead of the huge events that happen in other paranormal videos. Do you feel the same, or is there another angle we haven't considered? If so, please let us know in the comments section. Number 5. Twist and shout. You've probably seen stuff move out of the corner of your eye, but you always tend to brush it off as nothing. You weren't even focused on it anyway, so who's to say anything even happened, right? That's what this girl thought until she realized the thing she tried to deny to herself was caught on camera. If you missed it, don't worry. It's pretty hard to spot. So let's slow it down and zoom in. The tuba cream just twists around completely on its own. This is a tiny amount of activity, but that makes it even more believable. If someone were to fake a paranormal video, you would think it would be something big and shocking, not some tiny little movements, right? What do you think? Could this be the proof we've been looking for? Let us know your thoughts. Number 4. Screaming Woods. During Woods, also known as the Screaming Woods, is found in Pluckley, Kent. Pluckley has been named the most haunted village in the UK by some. And those woods are no chilled out affair either, which is something Louise from the camper vibe had to learn the hard way. If she had given it a quick Google search before packing up the van and setting off, she would have seen that During Woods is not only known for strange noises or shadow people, it's also home to multiple unexplained deaths and disappearances.
This one about the woods itself is my personal favourite. It goes on to read, "The ghost of a local highwayman robber who was captured, lynched and decapitated by angry villagers in the 18th century is said to wander the woodlands. However, the most terrifying stories about this woodland are undoubtedly the modern ones and do not involve ghosts but disturbingly unexplained deaths, murders and disappearances. And I'm going to be staying here, alone, in a tent."
But without all that horrifying knowledge, Louise was ready to set out for a good old-fashioned camping trip. All was going well. Her dinner had been cooked and her pudding was ready to be eaten. But then something made her hair stand on end.
There is a lot of noises in these woods. Where's my spoon? It's getting cold. Oh! Whoa. Get that fire going, I think. Now the rain, I think the rain stopped. Or it stopped enough for a fire anyway. Sounds like kids screaming. That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming.
She attempted to brush off all the screaming, not knowing if it was a human or animal.
That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming.
But when she got a fire going and got into her hammock, all hell broke loose.
Honestly, I've never known a woods with so many strange noises. It's not just your normal birds and stuff and planes, there's a lot of planes. There's like this weird... Well, I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm tired, so I'm going to let this burn out in a bit, sit here and enjoy a fire for a little while and then head to bed. The hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big bean? What was that noise? On because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty convinced there's been a person or persons. What the I've never wanted the morning to come as much as I do right now.
We're no experts on sounds you hear whilst camping, but that sounded like definite footsteps to us, and all the haunted backstory aside, this is petrifying because of who Louise is. She and her partner have been camping out in woodlands for years, and she's very accustomed to all sorts of sounds. So the fact this freaked her out so much is very telling. It seems pretty likely that this was humans rather than some kind of ghost, which is scarier anyway, especially considering she is a solo female camper. But regardless of how petrifying her first night was, she stayed for a second for some reason. Do you guys think she came into close contact with the supposed spirits that linger in the Screaming Woods? Or was it a close encounter with something much, much worse? Number 3. Noped Out. While making a quick response video on her TikTok, this girl just set up her phone in her bedroom and hit record. All went well for a few seconds until she noticed someone or something else stealing all the spotlight.
Hey guys, so someone commented in one of my videos like the bronzer highlighter I use, and I use the Milani 05 Soleil. So I'm gonna try that on, and no.
The camera is stationary for the whole video, meaning we can't see the whole room or get a good view inside the wardrobe. But when she swings it open, there doesn't look to be enough room for anyone to hide in there anyway. No idea where the light switch is, so that could have been anything. And something could have been placed on the floor to open and close the doors. But would she go to those lengths to fake a 30-second video? What do you think? Number 2. Skyline. The night sky is full of beauty, but it also seems to be a chock-a-block with stuff that makes you either shiver or scratch your head. Both those things happened to this guy when he saw this shooting through the sky.
¿Qué mierda es eso? ¿Qué es eso?
It's a super UFO. Well, for all we know, it could have just been an asteroid, but one thing is for sure. If you saw that above your head in real time, rest assured you'd feel your heart pump faster than the speed of that thing. Number 1. Drag Me Down. Warehouse work can be dangerous at the best of times, with all the heavy loads you have to carry and the machinery you have to watch out for during your shift. But one thing you don't normally expect to encounter is an unseen force dragging you down the aisles with the force of 10 men, which is what happened here. Take a look. Putting everything else aside for a moment, things could have gone seriously wrong for that poor man if only those boxes full of beer cans had fallen on his head or spine. Sure, you might argue that there could have been someone else hiding on the other side of the shelving unit to push everything off, but how did he get dragged such a long distance at such a speed? It's not like we're watching a Hollywood movie set, it's a warehouse CCTV security system. Plus, we can't see from both angles, and there doesn't seem to be anyone in sight who can pull a string. But even if it was a string, imagine the pain of being dragged with a thin wire against your skin like that. Hey, here's a playlist full of creepy stuff caught on camera for you to enjoy. Don't forget to bump the like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon to avoid missing our weekly SPOOKFEST. Thanks for watching. Stay in the dark.